Thank you for purchasing the Solomon Colors Color Select System. The Solomon Color Select System is the most accurate and reliable liquid color dispensing system in the concrete industry. Installing your Solomon Color Select System correctly will ensure optimum performance. This instructional video will show you the installation process. It will detail the installation procedures that are your responsibility, as well as those that are the responsibility of Solomon Colors. Your portion of the installation procedure should be complete before a Solomon technician arrives to set up the system and put it online. The Solomon Color Select System has 4 main components. Depending on your order, you will have 4 or 5 stationary totes containing Solomon Color Flow liquid color. Pumps for each tote are installed prior to delivery. The pump control panel routes the electrical power and controls the hose pumps. Plant air is required at the pump control panel to operate the agitation system, which circulates the color in the totes. The weigh chamber is a 47-gallon tank with a scale, an electrical panel, and control valves. The weigh chamber must be placed above the mixer or truck to allow gravity discharge of the color into the truck. A Windows-based computer controls the dispensing system. The computer will arrive preloaded with the Solomon Colors Ready Mix Colors program. The Color Select Pro installation instructions and your system operator's manual are shipped with your system. Make certain that you locate these materials, read them, and keep them for future reference. You know your plant better than anyone. Placing the equipment so that all components are accessible and out of the traffic pattern is your decision. The layout guide in your installation manual illustrates the best system configuration and shows the optimum lengths for power cables and color lines. If you have any questions about equipment placement, consult with Solomon Colors before you begin wiring the system. The stationary totes should be kept away from belts and out of the traffic pattern. It is inevitable that if it's possible to run into a tote, it will happen. The tote should be placed in the following order, left to right as you are facing the totes. CF 115 yellow, CF 413 light red, CF 417 dark red, CF 920 black, CF 908 carbon, or CF 600 white. Placing totes in this order is critical because this configuration corresponds to the switches on the pump control panel door and to the color lineup on the inventory panel and start sequence in the Color Select computer program. The best way to refill totes is to stack the refill totes on top of stationary totes. Refill totes are approximately 5 feet tall. When you place the stationary totes, make sure you have enough overhead clearance to stack totes and enough space around the totes for forklift access. Refill totes are heavy. The forklift approach must be level and stable. To keep aggregate out and to prevent the pigment from drying out, always keep the totes sealed. If at all possible, the pump control panel should be located away from moisture and dust. The pump control panel should be mounted level to prevent the door from binding. The emergency stop on the panel must be easy to reach. The pump control panel should be located as close as possible to the pumps and within 300 feet of the computer which controls the system. The weigh chamber is a gravity discharge. Therefore, it must be placed above the truck alley. Solomon Colors recommends building a weigh chamber platform that is 4 feet square and a minimum of 5 feet above the truck alley discharge. The weigh chamber must be accessible on 3 sides to connect air, water, and color lines. The optimum distance between the weigh chamber and the pumps is 50 feet. Before you lift the weigh chamber into place, remove the protective packaging. Remove the scale supports. To do this, use the access panels on the weigh chamber enclosure. The weigh chamber has holes pre-drilled and marked for communications and power conduits, as well as the air, water, and color lines. Make sure you have a clean water supply. Install the water filter and regulator assembly that is supplied with your system, where it is easy to check and change. Install a 1-inch hose barb on the dump valve and install compression fittings on the color manifold. The iron oxide in the liquid color can develop a magnetic charge. Therefore, all fittings that contain liquid color must be non-magnetic fittings, such as plastic, brass, or non-magnetic stainless steel. In most installations, Solomon supplies all the fittings you will need. If you need additional fittings, remember that not all stainless steel is non-magnetic. Check all stainless steel with a magnet to make certain it is non-magnetic. When all connections are complete, lift the weigh chamber into place. For optimum performance, the weigh chamber should be placed so that the discharge hose runs at an angle greater than 45 degrees. The discharge hose should not be longer than 25 feet. The computer is located in the batch office. A table or counter space will be needed for the computer, monitor, keyboard, and mouse. The plumbing, electrical, and air line installation are the customer's responsibility and must be done in compliance with your specific state and local codes. It is also the customer's responsibility to do what is needed to protect the totes, pumps, color lines, and the weigh chamber from freezing. In order to get the Color Select system online quickly, all wiring and plumbing should be complete before the Solomon technician arrives to complete startup. Solomon technicians are available to answer questions that arise while the wiring and plumbing are in progress. Plant air is required at the weigh chamber and at the pump control panel. Air requirements are 80 to 100 psi, 40 to 50 CFM, and a 3/8-inch FPT. The water line should carry a minimum of 40 psi of continuous pressure. A 10-gallon water pressure tank with a check valve can be installed if 40 psi continuous pressure is not available. 40 psi is the pressure needed to clean the weigh chamber between batches. The hoses that will be needed are 3/4-inch nylon tubing for color lines and a 1-inch discharge hose at the weigh chamber. 250 feet of color line and 25 feet of discharge hose are shipped with the Solomon Color Select system. All electrical work should be done by a qualified electrician and must meet industry standards and state and local codes. All power must be off and locked out during installation. All equipment must be properly grounded. Electrical supply should be 480 or 230 volt three-phase. 110 volt AC 24 volt DC circuits are made by the transformer in the pump control panel. The wiring guide and the Color Select installation manual can be used for reference when installing the wiring for the system. The main power cable between the service supply and the pump control panel must be 8-gauge wire with 4 conductors. The power cable that goes from the control panel to the pump must be a 3-phase AC system with 4 conductors. A 12-gauge wire junction box is provided at the pump. Weigh chamber wiring is a 3-conductor 14-gauge wire and Cat 5 with 8 conductors, 4 twisted pairs. 330 feet of shielded Cat 5 cable is sent with the Solomon system. A dedicated 110-volt circuit must be run to the weigh chamber to power the heater. The pump control panel is NEMA 4 capable. All knockouts should be made on the sides or on the bottom. Follow proper installation procedures to meet NEMA 4 enclosure standards on outdoor installations. The 110-volt power should enter the weigh chamber enclosure on your left as you face the panel. Power termination at the pumps should be made at the junction box on the bottom of the totes. The Solomon technician will terminate the wires at setup. A Cat 5 cable must be run to the computer. The conduit can terminate at the wall, but enough cable must be pulled to reach all possible locations for the computer. All color lines must be run uphill the entire distance from the pumps to the weigh chamber. If the color lines are run above the weigh chamber, unwanted color will drain into the chamber. Do not splice color lines. Color lines should be protected from sharp edges. Do not use 90-degree fittings on color lines. The Solomon technician will install color lines if they are easily accessible. Color line installation that requires building modification or special equipment will be the customer's responsibility. Recheck all plumbing connections after the system has been online for a few days. When you have completed all the items on the customer readiness checklist included in the installation manual, a Solomon technician will come on site to double-check all installation procedures, terminate wires, and troubleshoot any problems. Then, the technician will install the computer in the batch office. He will make certain it is communicating with all the system components and make certain that the program and the computer are running properly. The Solomon technician will help you run test batches and show your employees how to operate the Solomon Color Select system. If you have chosen the bucket option, Solomon will provide separate installation instructions. The Solomon Color Select system, teamed with Solomon Color Flow Liquid Color, give you the most accurate and reliable color dispensing system in the concrete industry. When your installation is complete and your system is online, you can expect easy, virtually trouble-free operation. Your Solomon Color Select system comes with the best customer service in the concrete industry. If you have questions about your system, Solomon Color's customer support is just a phone call away. Thank you once again for choosing the Solomon Color Select system and for the confidence you've shown in Solomon Colors. We will work hard to maintain your trust and to keep your business. Solomon Colors, the leader in concrete coloring solutions.